Hello, my loves. This is a reading for women who are over it. I've been really tuning into the energy of the 4B movement that has come up, inspired by Korean women who were like, if you aren't going to treat us with respect, we're not dating you anymore. We're not giving you our attention anymore. We're not giving you our babies. We're not marrying you. That's none of that. We're not having sex with you. It's over. So I have been tuning into that message here that's been resonating with women in the United States after the election. And I felt like the best first video back at it again here on my YouTube channel is to come back with this message for those of us who are over it, who are done being polite and nice and playing the politeness politics that people who don't even see our humanity expect us to keep doing, because that's how we've been. We've just been trying to take care of ourselves and others. We've been trying to, bring men along with us and help them heal too. So I wanted to come with a message and help us understand all of the thoughts, energies, beliefs, behaviors that we need to start doing more of, that we need to stop doing because it's not helping us, it's not serving us, continue doing because we're already doing it, it's already helping a lot, as well as some obstacles that we might be collectively facing together. All right, so deep breath in through the nose. I said deep, and out through the mouth. Take a sip of water if you need it. I've got some hot water with lemon. Oh, it's still too hot. Okay, that's for later. And we'll get started with the Mood Tarot deck that I've got. These are super fun. They're super goofy, and they're based on sort of classic Rider-Waite tarot, but are just, like I said, very silly, very goofy, and say some crazy shit on here. So you're going to hear some crazy shit in this reading. I'm also going to end with some cards from Hack Your Nervous System. I've already pulled the cards from Mood, but I haven't pulled these cards yet. So I want our energies to combine as we do it, so that you can actually kind of pick and choose what you need, so that you can hack your nervous system. And these cards are 60 evidence-based practices to help alleviate anxiety, reduce stress, and retrain your nervous system, which all of my girly pops are doing. So let's get started with our continue card. That's sort of our cheering section. That's where we're going to see where we're doing well. And it is the Noob of Mind Bullets, which is the Page of Swords. The page is the one who don't know shit yet. And on here it says, oh, this old sword? Why? What do you know about it? Looking sort of skeptically off at this other person who is, presumably off screen, we'll say, and out of the picture, and that really reflects and confirms this message that has been a part of the we're over it, we're not dealing with men anymore, decentering men conversation that I've been seeing happening. So great job decentering men, great job saying, you don't, what do you know about it? This isn't for you, this isn't about you. And making sure that we're coming from a place of newness. I think that's what the page brings as well, what the noob brings as well, is that sense of newness of I don't know how I'm going to be doing this yet. I don't know how we are going to decenter men yet when we live in a world that centers men. So this is kind of new to us. We are starting to do this thing, but we need to continue to keep in mind that the point is to center ourselves, not just to decenter. Because if we're always responding and we're reacting, then we're never really creating something that's for us. We're creating something that is a reaction to a world that was built for somebody else, right? So what we need to start doing, and I love that this noob message is mirrored here, a noob of devil cats or Knave of Pentacles, because we've got, is this an opportunity? Wait, get kind of like me, kind of need some glasses, this screen here. Yeah, it just, what we need to start doing is seeing every single um, relationship, every stream of income, every opportunity in our external world, every space that we occupy, because Pentacles is about everything that we still interact with that is outside of us. All of the other suits in the tarot have to do with what's going on inside of us. So, swords is the mind, cups is emotions, and wands is our spiritual energy, and that's all sort of like in here. Pentacles is out there, and I would say wands and spiritual energy is also kind of out there as well. But I like to think of it as the material out there, because that helps us understand that it's about not just our physical space, but it's about our relational space. And we need to remember that every time we see something new in our space, or every time we are uh, renegotiating a space that was already created, whether in a relationship or an income stream or a literal physical space, what we need to do is see it as an opportunity for decentering, see it as an opportunity for recentering ourselves and making sure that we are prioritizing ourselves first. Because the other card that we have in the start position here is the Yeet, is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is like, you can create whatever world you dream of. Like, just fucking yeet it from your spiritual and your energetic world into reality. But we also have to start recognizing our own capacity for creation. You know, it's not just that we have pussies and wombs that makes us creators as women and people with uteruses. We get to create from a totally different space, a totally different way of being, way of connecting than people who have never been at risk for creating another life, we'll say, could even fathom. They can't fathom it. And that's why they create things that are destructive, because they don't understand the life and death cycle in the same way that our bodies do. Our bodies inherently just have this understanding, this concept of you know, death and rebirth. So in the same way that all of the opportunities that we see around us in our material world are moments where we get to really pivot, we also need to pivot from that space of, we're starting to think about what the world we want to look like not only appears to us as, so that we recognize it when we see it, we go, oh yes, okay, this is the thing that I was thinking about. But also we need to know what it feels like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, what it sounds like. We need to get into that sensory space so that our creative energies and our senses, when we're out in the real world and we're not thinking about the world we're creating so much, we're just on the lookout for it, don't have to do so much. We already have that imprint. We already have that imprint and that impression of what to be on the lookout for and what to align ourselves with. So it may be hard to align ourselves with that because we've got in the obstacle position of this reading, we've got the Eight of Swords. So we've got a couple of mirrors in here. We've got our two noob cards and we've got our two 8 cards. And I wanted to bring in the Eight of Swords at this point because this one says, it's all fun and sex games until you have to pee. We often feel like we're trapped in the world that was created, that we've been sort of tied to. And one of the obstacles that we might face is not wanting to look at everything that's bad around us, or not wanting to make comparisons necessarily to the world that we're trying to leave. Or we might fall into the trap of making comparisons. We might fall into the trap of making comparisons to what the world looks like and thinking that we can only improve upon it, as opposed to creating something entirely different. And that is a sword energy. That is a mental energy. That's a mental trap. You can change your mind about anything. You can change your mindset about and toward any and everything. And you just got to stay malleable. You just got to hop into that growth mindset, so that as we are rebuilding, you don't lose that sense of self and that sense of purpose. So another obstacle that we're probably going to be facing together is the building a boat. Okay, bust out another 1,000. We're gonna be tired. We're gonna be tired and exhausted, energetically, spiritually. This is a wands card again. This is the 10 of wands. So this is like an outcome card. This is the end of the road here. This is in tarot, you have from ace to 10 to really process through a certain lesson or a certain story that you're telling yourself, that the universe is telling with you, that you're co-creating together. And 10 is the outcome. 10 is like when all is said and done. What did it feel like? What did it look like? And what are you looking forward to? What do you think the next thing needs to look like? Because if you are taking this energy and you are interpreting it as, I have to do the most, I have to do everything all at once, it needs to get taken care of as fast as fucking possible, or I need to carry as many other people and ideas and tasks and organizations and projects with me as I possibly can, so that we can just fucking do this, you're going to be exhausted, honey, baby, please. That's an obstacle. It's not in this reading to tell you you're going to be exhausted, but keep going. No, it's not the message. The reason that you might feel exhausted is because you are not looking at all of the opportunities around you as moments where you can tell the universe, soul, SOAL, source of abundant love, which is what I've been calling God lately, telling universe / soul, tell your ancestors and your guides and all of your future and past selves who are in this together and are weaving this reality that we're in right now. If you are not looking at every single time where you're like, oh, I know how I want this to be different. I know how I want this to be different. I know how I want that to be different. I know exactly what the better version of that in the reality we're trying to create looks like. And I'm so excited about that. I'm going to act on it now. If you're acting on every single thing instead of telling the universe, soul, ancestors, guides that you need help and that you would spiritually like them to carry that load, and you take each one of these and you go, this one's for you, and this one's for you, and this one's for you. If you're not sharing the load with your spiritual guides, they're just going to have to sit on their hands, because they can't do a whole lot unless we anchor them in, unless we cast out that line and we ask for help. But guess what the beautiful part about that is? A patriarchal world does not ask for help. A patriarchal world just does everything themselves and is ruggedly individualistic and a perfectionist to fault, and doesn't really care about the spiritual, energetic consequences of taking on everything themselves. That is why we have to do it differently. And that is why it's in our obstacle position, because they already know. that we've been failing them at asking for help. It's not just asking each other in the material world for help. It's this is a wands. This is a wands card. We need to ask for spiritual assistance. So make sure that you are doing that. Pay attention to the way that you are fucking yourself over by taking on 80% of the load and the labor instead of 20% and giving the other 80 to them. They can do so much more than we can do. And if you want to see it done fast, you have to give it up. You have to give it over to them. You know, I hear a lot of Christians saying, give it up to God or give it over to God. Give all of my issues and all of my problems over to God. That is what we need to do. That's how we need to look at it, is we are giving it over to the universe. We're giving it over to soul. We're giving it over to our ancestors and our guides and all of those that we are connected to, because they have so much power, and the power that we can embody is through them. Higher power is through asking help from them. Now, our last card here is the stop card. And it was actually the first one that landed face up, and the first one that I looked at, because I was like, oh God. I mean, I'm glad to see you, but it's the Two of Cups. It's the Two of Cups. It's an emotions-centered card. It's a feeling-centered card. And it says, I brought you a cup of my love juice. And the other one says, aw, I brought you a cup of my love juice. And this character in the middle says, you two are sick. Stop bringing men your love juice. Stop doing it. Stop bringing it to them, because they just keep dumping it on the ground, right? And they're not even watering anything. It's not even helpful. It's wasteful. And that's not to say that we don't have wonderful people in our lives, that we don't have loving partners who actually do their own work to maintain an understanding of how to be feminist and how to regard women and the world that we are building with respect, help and uplift us and support us and champion us. It's not to say that those men don't exist, because they do. I've got one in the other room right now. The fact of the matter is, the vast majority of men who are out there, and this is where the 4B movement comes from. No dating, no sex, no marriage, no making babies with new men. Because the energy that we pour into them, the attention, the intention that we pour into them, wasted. Fucking wasted. So we need to stop doing that. Fucking stop it. Don't bring them your love. Don't bring them your attention, your energy, XYZ, anything that your politeness especially. Because politeness is so political. Politeness is patriarchal. Politeness tells us that we have to be nice because that's the kind thing to do. Niceness is just another way of saying, shut the fuck up. Don't tell us how you're really feeling. Just keep smiling because you're prettier that way. So stop. So stop doing that. Stop smiling for them. Stop making them comfortable. We need to let them stew in their own discomfort. All right. Let me know if any of this resonated with you. I would love to hear your voice in the comments. I would also love to hear your voice in response to the Vibrant Voice podcast that I run. I've got V for Vibrant on Patreon as well. So if you enjoyed this and you want to get a reading for yourself, I actually have only just one tier on Patreon. It's $5 a month. And what it actually does is it gives you an opportunity once a month to get a reading for free. The name of it is escaping me right now. It's not a referral. It's a raffle. There we go. I raffle off a free reading every single month for the folks who are in that $5 tier. So if you want a free reading from me and you want to try it out, would love to see you in that space just so that we can all start to commune and start to take care of each other and pour our love into each other. Because if we can't pour it into them and they don't appreciate it and it just makes us sick, then we need to start pouring into each other and ourselves and have that continuous, beautiful, cyclical, infinite overflow start to rejuvenate us so that we remember to ask for help and that we need to get over that sort of like mind numbing place of like, we have to recreate this world. We can make a whole new one. Think about something else. Don't think about what they created. Think about what we want to create. I'm not going to go through all the rest of the cards, but I welcome you to continue connecting with me in other spaces. But if you enjoyed this reading and it resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And I would love for you to subscribe. So smash that button. That's what people say, right? That's what the kids are saying these days. I love you so much. You're so deserving of all the love you desire. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.